Good morning, dear students. I am Ms. Navida Sheikh from Brahan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's session, we'll be learning something new and interesting from a science textbook. So let's get started. Good morning, dear students. I am Ms. Navida Sheikh from MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's session, we'll be learning a very interesting chapter, that is classification of plants. So let's get started. So, in this chapter, we will be learning about Kingdom Plantae. In Kingdom Plantae, we will be learning about subkingdom Gymnosperms and another subkingdom, that is Kingdom Angiosperm. Now, these are the three things that are further divided that we'll be learning in this chapter. So, let's continue. In our previous class, we've already learned about the classification of animals. Now, in our previous standards, we have learned that there are so many different types of plants and animals around us, and both of them are very important. We have learned about animals classification. Today in this class, we'll be learning about and talking about plants classification because they are extremely important part of our living, of all the living organisms that are present on the earth, because they are the basic energy producing living organisms, because they can prepare their own food, and from them we are getting whatever things are being required. Okay, so it is very important for us to understand about the plant classification. Now previously you have already learned about the five kingdoms, that is Kingdom Monera, Protista and Fungi. Now out of the five kingdoms that we have learned about Kingdom Monera, Protista, Fungi. Okay, that was the classification done by Robert Whittaker. Okay, according to him, we have learned about the five kingdoms of classification. He had given about Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. But last year we have learned about Kingdom Monera, Protista and Fungi. Alright, this year we'll be learning about Kingdom Plantae. Okay, so let's continue ahead. Now, according to classification of Whittaker, which we have learned, there were a few criteria that were important for us to remember. That is complexity of cell structure, like prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell, whether the cell is eukaryotic or prokaryotic. We also considered about the organism, whether the organism is unicellular or multicellular, like amoeba, euglena. These are unicellular organisms, and when we talk about multicellular organism, we consider the very simple example is humans, animals around us, right? So these were the few basic ideas that he had taken in order to classify animals and the five kingdoms that we've already learned. So this was what you have already learned in your last year, that is living organisms are divided into two parts, that is prokaryotics and eukaryotics, right, according to the cell structure that we studied. Now prokaryotics have unicellular organisms in them. That makes the first kingdom, that is Kingdom Monera. ठीक है, उसमें सिर्फ unicellular means having only one cell. So Monera के बारे में हम लोग ने पढ़ चुके हैं. Those are unicellular organisms. When we talk about eukaryotic cells, now eukaryotic cells have unicellular organisms also and multicellular organisms as well. Now in eukaryotics, the unicellular has the second kingdom, that is Kingdom Protista. In multicellular, we have three kingdoms, that is Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. Now, in our previous class, we've learned about Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi. Now, this year, we'll be learning the fourth kingdom, that is Kingdom Plantae. Alright? So, in Kingdom Plantae, we'll be learning about the n number of species and varieties of plants that are present. How are they classified? What are the criteria on which they are being classified? So, it becomes easier for us to understand about those plants. Before we start with the plant, let us understand about how these plants and animals are differentiated from each other. Now, if you look at the picture here, you have learnt about the cell structures of plant cell and animal cells. Now, there are a few things which are common in them, and there are a few things which are different from both of them. Like in plant cell, हम लोगों के पास cell wall present है, but when we talk about animal cell doesn't have a cell wall. ठीक है? There are a few things which are different in both of them. Like plants के अंदर क्लोरोप्लास्ट होता है, जिसकी वजह से वो लोग अपना खुद का खाना बना सकते हैं. That is the process of photosynthesis. But animals cannot do that, right? So there is a huge difference in the cell structure also when we look at it, and there are a few cell organelles which are specialized in plant cells, like the chloroplast, like the cell wall. These are special organelles which are helping the entire organism for doing special work. ठीक है, इसलिए वो डिफरेंट है और उसे उन लोगों को अलग किंगडम में क्लासिफाई किया गया था. ठीक है. Now the division of kingdom Plantae, it helps us to understand. Now remember, you have already learnt about the structure of the plant. प्लांट के बारे में हम लोग ने पढ़े हैं कि प्लांट के अंदर रूट, स्टेम, लीफ, फ्लावर, ये उसके बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं. ठीक है, यू हैव ऑलरेडी लर्न दिस. अब हम लोग क्लासिफाई किस हिसाब से करेंगे उसे. Now kingdom Plantae is further divided into various divisions at the first level according to fact that plant body has well differentiated distinct components. मतलब उसके अंदर प्रॉपर रूट्स है या नहीं है, उसके अंदर स्टेम प्रेजेंट है या एब्सेंट है, फ्लावरिंग प्लांट है या नॉन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट है, उसकी सीड्स के स्ट्रक्चर कैसा है. ठीक है, तो वो चीज़ों के ऊपर हम लोग ये प्लांट किंगडम को क्लासिफाई करेंगे. ठीक है. So kingdom Plantae is next divided into various divisions according to the fact that differentiated plant body has special tissues for the transport of water and other substances within it. Now, the basis for classification. The presence or absence of organs in the first is the first criteria for classification of plant. Now, there are certain plants which are flowering, there are certain plants which do not have flowers. तो उसके बेसिस पे हम लोग उसे क्लासिफाई कर सकते हैं. There are certain plants which have roots, proper root system. But there are certain plants also which do not have proper root system. They just have root-like structures. ठीक है. So this is the very first criteria जो हम लोग use करेंगे in order to classify the plants. Next we have how the seed arrangement is there. किस हिसाब से द कॉटिलेडॉन्स के बारे में हम लोग ने पढ़ चुके हैं. वेदर द प्लांट्स हैव मोनोकॉटिलेडॉन और दे आर डाइकॉटिलेडॉन. ठीक है. फाइनली द प्लांट्स आर ग्रुप डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द नंबर ऑफ कॉटिलेडॉन्स इन द सीड्स. तो दिस इज ऑल्सो एन इम्पॉर्टेंट क्राइटेरिया फॉर क्लासिफाइंग द. Here another one is the presence of vascular tissues, like whether they have a proper xylem and phloem for conducting water and food throughout the plant or not. ठीक है. There are some plants जिनके अंदर ये चीज प्रेजेंट नहीं है, उनके अंदर डिफरेंट चीजें प्रेजेंट है जो हेल्प करती है टू कंडक्ट वाटर एंड फूड फ्रॉम वन पार्ट टू द अदर. ठीक है. So this is also one more criteria, whether the presence or there is an absence of separate conducting tissues for conduction of water and food. कोई कोई प्लांट्स के अंदर कॉमन वेसिकल्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं जो दोनों चीज कैरी करते हैं, बट जैसे जैसे एडवांस प्लांट्स होते जाते हैं वैसे वैसे उनके अंदर ये दोनों कंडक्टिंग टिश्यूज अलग अलग होते हैं. लाइक दे विल हैव प्रॉपर सेपरेट xylem and phloem for food and xylem for water conduction. Now there is one more criteria to understand how to classify plant, that is whether they have seeds or they do not have seeds. ठीक है. और अगर सीड्स है तो क्या वो इनक्लोज्ड है फ्रूट के अंदर, जैसे कि ऑरेंजेस है, ऑरेंजेस के अंदर हम लोगों को सीड्स मिलती है, ऊपर फ्रूट है, अंदर सीड है. Whereas here if you see this example of a pine cone, here you can see that these seeds are open. ठीक है. Directly they are visible. इसके ऊपर कोई फ्रूट नहीं है. ठीक है. So depending upon how the fruit is arranged or how the seed is enclosed or not, उसके हिसाब से भी हम लोग प्लांट को क्लासिफाई करते हैं. Now this brings us to a very interesting thing as to understand about what exactly are we going to study. Now he is a botanist, a person who studies plant is known as a botanist. Okay, remember this. So in 1883, Ichler, a botanist, classified the kingdom Plantae. Okay, as we learned about Robert Whittaker, how he classified the five kingdoms like Monera, Protista, fungi, algae, sorry, not algae, uh, fungi, animalia. So he classified those kingdoms, right? Whereas when we talk about kingdom Plantae, Eichler was the person who classified the kingdom Plantae further ahead into two सब kingdoms. ठीक है, kingdom Plantae को further दो part में उन्होंने classify किया था, that were cryptogams and another was phanerogams. ठीक है, so cryptogams and phanerogams are the two sub kingdoms that we'll be studying in this chapter, and it is very interesting if you pay attention to the examples that we'll be talking about. Now, kingdom Plantae is divided into two parts, that is cryptogams and phanerogams. As I told you, cryptogams are divided into bryophyta, thallophyta and pteridophyta. Now ये जो P दिख रहा है ये silent है, इसे हम लोग pteridophyta नहीं पढ़ते हैं. P is silent, so we pronounce it as pteridophyta. ठीक है, so remember this. In phanerogams, we have gymnosperms and angiosperms. Now again, angiosperm is further divided into dicotyledons and monocotyledons plant. Now you have to remember this chart. If you remember this, you'll remember the further part of the chapter as well. Okay, there is nothing much to remember. You just need to remember the examples in order to understand these plants. Okay? At the high level of plant classification, different characteristics are considered for classification. Now, for example, depending upon the absence or presence of flower, fruit, seed, plants are classified as cryptogams and phanerogams. Further, depending upon whether the seeds are enclosed within a fruit or not, phanerogams are classified as gymnosperms and angiosperms. ठीक है, अब angiosperms are further classified as monocotyledons or dicots depending upon the number of cotyledons in the seed. Okay, so this is how this system works. Now we start with the very first one, that is cryptogams. Now in order to understand cryptogams, very simple thing that you could do is, if you go near a pond, you naturally see a green color layer over the water, right? Now, if you search for a pond with greenish water and if you collect some of the green fibers from the water and put those fibers under a petri dish and clean them with water, put that fiber with a drop of water on a glass slide and spread it out straight. And when you put a cover slip over it and when you observe it under the microscope, you will see that there are green thread-like structures, okay, which has chloroplast in the cell. Now that is nothing but Spirogyra. Spirogyra you've already learned, that is not new to you. Spirogyra आप लोगों को पता है. You have learned about Spirogyra. So this is what a Spirogyra looks like under a compound microscope. Now for cryptogams are further classified as Thallophyta, as I told you. The first one is Thallophyta that we'll be learning. Now if you look at the plant, now first always look at the plant. If you look at the plant, you will not see that it is a very big plant. You will see that it is growing on the ground level. Ground level मतलब एकदम soil को touch होकर ये grow हो रहा है. Can you see proper stem over here? The answer is no. You cannot see proper stem. Can you see proper roots? No. You can just see fine hair-like structures, okay, which are holding into the soil. So here, if you notice, these plants grow mainly in water. You can see water condition is there. These group of plants which do not have specific parts like root, stems, leaf, flowers but are autotrophic due to the presence of chlorophyll. Okay? Green color pigment is present. You can see the leaves are green in color. Why? Because chloroplast is present. Chlorophyll helps in the process of photosynthesis. ठीक है, इनके अंदर प्रॉपर लीफ नहीं है, प्रॉपर स्टेम नहीं है, प्रॉपर रूट्स नहीं है, they do not bear flowers, but still they are surviving because of chlorophyll in them, which helps them to produce food. Okay, this is called algae. Algae show a great diversity. Diversity means बहुत सारे type of algae present है. They can be unicellular or multicellular and microscopic or large. Some could be very minute, which you need to see it under the microscope, and some are very large. Some examples of algae are Spirogyra that we studied, Eulethrox, Ulva, Sargassum, etc. There are a few more. Okay, if you can go through the net and search for a few more, you can get n number of examples for Thallophyta. Some of these are found in fresh water while some are found in saline water. Saline water means salty water. These plants usually have a soft and fiber-like body. Various types of fungi like yeast and molds which do not have chlorophyll are also included in this group. ठीक है, जो yeast हम लोग यूज करते हैं हमारे घर में खाना पकाने में, या फिर जो molds हम लोगों को हमारे during rainy season you must have seen a blackish layer over the wall or over the food. Okay, if it is kept, those are also considered into this group. So this is the first division, that is Thallophyta. ठीक है, तो इसमें हम लोग क्या क्या याद रखेंगे? इसके अंदर हम लोग याद रखेंगे कि they do not have specific roots, stem, leaf, flowers. ठीक है, सबसे बेसिक है, सबसे स्टार्टिंग है. अभी रिमेम्बर, ये एकदम छोटे प्लांट्स हैं. दे आर ऑन द सर्फेस ऑफ द सॉइल. They are not very tall, not even not even what do you say, not even 2-3 inch also. Okay, they are very on the surface layer. उनके अंदर रूट्स नहीं है, प्रॉपर स्टेम्प नहीं है, लीफ नहीं है, फ्लावर्स नहीं है. दे हैव रूट लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स, दे हैव लीफ लाइक स्ट्रक्चर विच हैज क्लोरोफिल इन इट विच हेल्प्स देम टू प्रिपेयर फूड. तो ये चीजें याद रखेंगे. और एल्गे, इसके अंदर एग्जाम्पल कौन सा याद रखेंगे? एल्गे. ये एल्गे इसके अंदर ये थैलोफाइटा में आता है. एंड एग्जाम्पल्स आर स्पायरोगायरा, Elothrix, Ulva, Sargassum. Okay, simple examples. Remember at least 2 to 3 examples. In the exam, you will only recollect 2. Okay, so remember, always remember 3 to 4 examples. तो हम लोग को एग्जाम के टाइम पे कम से कम 2-3 याद आ जाएंगे. So these are a few examples of how a thallophyta looks. See, these are all organisms which are present inside the water. ठीक है, ये पानी के अंदर submerged हम लोग को दिखाई देते हैं. In one of the picture you can actually see how it is growing onto the layer of the rock also. ठीक है, fine thread like structures होते हैं. They are submerged in water, पानी के अंदर होते हैं. ठीक है, तो these are a few characteristics you have to remember. हम लोग ने क्या पढ़े थे? बेसिक क्लासिफिकेशन के अंदर जो क्राइटेरियाज होते हैं वो होता है whether there are proper parts present or not. तो इसके अंदर proper parts present नहीं है. So you have to remember this. Now you must have seen during the rainy season, this is a very nice time to study this chapter because you can actually see all this around you. If you see your walls or if you see your nearby tree also, you must be seeing that there is a green color layer growing over it. That is a very simple example of another thing that we're going to study, that is bryophyta. That is nothing but the moss. Now what happens in bryophyta? Now these are a few, this is little bit advanced than thallophyta. This group of plant is called the amphibians. They can grow on land. They do not need they are not submerged in water like the thallophytas. They live on land, they grow on land, but they need water. Ample of water is required. Moist region चाहिए. इसीलिए I am giving you a very simple example. If you remember the moss that grows onto the walls or the trees, bark of the trees, अगर आप लोग वो याद रखोगे तो आपको याद रहेगा. They need water. कब दिखाई देता है moss हम लोगों को? We see moss only during the rainy season. क्यों rainy season में दिखाई दे रहा है? क्योंकि rainy season में पानी बहुत होता है. ठीक है, so there is too much of moisture in the air. So that is the reason they grow abundantly in many areas. Okay, ऐसे नहीं है कि कहीं पे ही होते हैं, हर जगह पर आप लोगों को ये चीज दिखाई देगी. So they are called as amphibians also in this plant kingdom because they grow in moist soil but need water for reproduction. These plants are thalloid. Thalloid means they do not have a proper stem. ठीक है, ये लोग सरफेस ऑफ द लेयर पे, सॉइल सरफेस पे ही ग्रो करते हैं, and they are multicellular and autotrophic. Autotrophic again because they have green color chlorophyll in them, they prepare their own food and hence they are called as autotrophic. They reproduce by spore formation. Now we are talking about how they are reproducing. Okay? They produce spores in them. In first picture you can see the there is something coming out. ठीक है, आप लोगों को दिखाई दे रहा है. Now they bear spores in them. These help in production of reproduction in this plant. The structure of plant body of Bryophytas is flat, ribbon-like, long, without true roots. Now see, we're talking about true roots, stems and leaves. They have stem-like structure, they have root-like structure, they have leaf-like structure. प्रीवियसली उन लोगों के पास कुछ भी नहीं था, उन लोगों के पास ना रूट्स था, ना स्टेम था, ना लीफ थी, ना फ्लावर्स थे. बट हियर दे आर हैविंग रूट लाइक स्ट्रक्चर, स्टेम लाइक स्ट्रक्चर एंड लीफ लाइक स्ट्रक्चर. सी, देयर इज अ डिफरेंस रूट्स होने में और रूट लाइक स्ट्रक्चर होने में. ठीक है. नाउ आई विल गिव यू अ वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल ऑफ अमीबा. व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट अमीबा, अमीबा के अंदर भी मूवमेंट होते हैं बट उन लोगों के अंदर लेग्स नहीं होते. दे शो सूडोपोडिया, मीन्स दे हैव फॉल्स फीट. ठीक है, उनके पास मूवमेंट के लिए ऑर्गन है बट पैर नहीं है. जैसे हमारे पास लेग्स होते हैं, दे डू नॉट हैव लेग्स बट दे हैव अ स्पेशलाइज्ड ऑर्गन. सी, same thing here also in plants also we are considering. They do not have these plants like bryophytas do not have proper roots, proper stem and proper leaf. ठीक है. Instead they have stem like or leaf like parts and root like rhizoids. ठीक है, इसे roots नहीं कहते हैं. जो fibers दिखाई देते हैं they are called as rhizoids. They do not have specific tissues for conduction of food and water, means they do not have xylem and phloem for conducting water. Example, very simple example is moss, markantia, anthoceros, rixia, etc. Now this is the second division of cryptogams, that is Bryophyta. Now I'll just give you a few examples of it, that is moss. Here you can see this is a place where you can see everything is covered with moss. Okay. Now moss is a common word but actually when we talk about it in botanical terms it is called as funaria. Now in this picture that is markantia, you can see it is just a ribbon like structure. ठीक है, ऐसा proper कुछ plant नहीं दिखाई दे रहा, ऐसा लग रहा है कि सिर्फ एक पत्ती गिरी हुई है. And you can see small fiber like things below that are nothing but the rhizoids. Rhizoids are helping them to attach themselves to the soil surface or the rock they are on to growing. ठीक है. So this is Rixia. This is a very simple example to understand and remember Bryophyta. ठीक है, Rixia, very simple name. Anthoceros, here you can see Anthoceros, here you can see how they are growing, how small they are. उनके पास proper roots नहीं है, rhizoids है, बारीक hair like structure है जो उन्हें attach करने में help करता है soil को. Right? Everybody can see how clear and this Bryophyta examples are. You have to remember इनके पास root like structure है, stem like structure है, leaf like structure है, but they do not have through roots, through stem, through leaves. ठीक है, ये जो root like structures है उन्हें क्या कहते हैं? Rhizoid. So you have learned a new word here, that is rhizoid. So remember that. You've also learned a word thallus. Okay, so I'll be explaining you all that also now. The next one is Pteridophyta. Now, if you look at this picture, you will at once understand. You must have seen it also in gardens. ठीक है, ये plants बहुत easily आप लोगों को दिखाई भी देते हैं. These are called as ferns. You must have seen it. अब ये ferns की speciality क्या है? Here if you notice, ये हम लोगों को यहाँ पे proper leaf के structure दिखाई दे रहे हैं ना? Leaf दिखाई दे रही है ना हम लोगों को? Now these plants, they are from this group, are well developed roots, they have stem and they have leaves. ठीक है, अब ये थोड़ा advanced है. They have proper roots, they have proper stem, they have proper leaf and have a separate tissue for conduction of food and water. ठीक है, तो अब ये थोड़ा advanced हो गए. When we learned about Thallophyta, we learned about Bryophyta. उनमें ये सब चीजें present नहीं थी. But when we are talking about Pteridophyta, this group has proper stem, roots and leaves. They also have a separate tissue for conduction of water and food in them. बट दे डू नॉट बेयर फ्लावर्स. ठीक है, अभी भी एक चीज एब्सेंट है इनमें, फ्लावर्स और फ्रूट्स. दे डू नॉट बेयर फ्रूट्स एंड फ्लावर्स. They reproduce with the help of spores. Again, here also they are reproducing with spores. Bryophyta के अंदर भी spores थे, Pteridophyta में भी spores है. Along with this, if you notice here, I'll be showing you a picture of Nephrolepis, that is the fern, in order to understand how they bear the spores. The few examples are Nephrolepis, Marsilia, Pteris, Adiantum, Equisetum, Selaginella, Lycopodium, etc. These plants reproduce asexually by spore formation and sexually by zygote formation. They have a well-developed conducting system. ठीक है, this is clear. This is the third division, that is pteridophyte. Now, few examples of pteridophyte as Nephrolepis. As I told you, I'll be showing you all how the spores and on which surface you can see. This is the dorsal part, back portion of the leaf. ठीक है, ऊपर के पोर्शन पे आप लोगों को ये दिखाई नहीं देगा. अगर आप लोग इसके लीफ को टर्न करके देखोगे, if you notice, you will find that these are the spore-like structures which are present. ये जो black spots है, इसके अंदर spores present है, which are helping in the reproduction. अब ये जो group है ना, that is Pteridophyta, they reproduce by spore formations. These plants do not have flowers and fruits. ठीक है, तो ये याद रखेंगे हम लोग. Now this is Marsilia. This plant here again you can see the roots, you can see the stem, you can see the leaf. Although they are not very tall, जैसे कि हमारे normal plants होते हैं, they are much smaller and shorter. They love shade. Okay, ये लोग ज़्यादा धूप नहीं बर्दाश्त कर सकते. Next is example is Adiantum. Again you can see they are small, tiny, they are growing in the pot. Okay, you can see they are not having strong stems. They have delicate stems in them. Here you can see Selaginella and this is Lycopodium. If you notice all these plants have a soft stems. They are not very hard as compared to the normal plants that we see. Okay? So this is how initially the plants have evolved over the period of time and they have been classified according to that. How the organs are present in them or absent in them, according to that they have been classified. Now in this chapter, up till now, we have learned about cryptogams. Cryptogams were seedless. They did not have seeds, they did not have fruits in them, they did not have flowers in them. ठीक है, flowers नहीं रहेंगे तो seeds नहीं होंगे, fruit नहीं बनेगा, fruit नहीं होंगे तो seeds नहीं होगी. तो remember that way. Cryptogams के अंदर हम लोगों ने तीन चीज पढ़े हैं, Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Thallophyta में हम लोग ने क्या पढ़े थे? They have differentiated body called as thallus. मतलब एक चपटा एक surface है जिसे हम लोग thallus कहते हैं. They do not have vascular system, means they do not have xylem and phloem. They reproduce sexually and asexually. उसके अंदर कौन से examples आते हैं? Algae and lichens. ठीक है? Then we learned about Bryophyta. In Bryophytas, they do not have proper root or shoot system. They do not have vascular system also. They reproduce sexually and asexually both. And Bryophytas also reproduce by spore formation. Remember that. Examples are mosses, liverwort, hornwort. Okay. The next one that we learned, that is Pteridophyta. They have differentiated root and stem. Okay. They also have vascular system present. They reproduce by spore formation. Very simple example is ferns. Now, this much we have learned in this chapter. In the next coming period, we will be learning about the next group, that is Phanerogams. If you like the session, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can share and view the videos that we had today for you. And please do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you remain updated with all the latest videos that we'll be making for our dear students. This session was quite useful to you. In the next coming period, we'll learn something new and interesting. Till then, thank you.